So YouTube removed my episode talking about Ian Carroll on Joe Rogan. You're not allowed to talk about the contents of that episode. The extent to which the left protects the Podesta brothers is completely disgusting. These emails are now 9 years old and we can't discuss them in a public forum. Incredible. This is why you folks lost the election. You're still in election mode. You're doubling down on censorship. Somebody is policing my content. Somebody's looking at all my uploads and reporting them. That video was not harassment, and you can listen to that whole episode and confirm this for yourself. You can go over on my website where the podcast is still up. I'll put the link in description, davidseaman.substack.com, or you can just go to Fulcrum News. It wasn't harassment. So you're just censoring people and labeling it abuse and harassment. I had, calm tone. Nothing I said was inappropriate. Nothing was a threat. Nothing was harassment. I understand my boundaries as a journalist. And I was just summarizing what Ian Carroll had said about the Podesta brothers and their sick artwork and their sick leaked emails over on Joe Rogan's show, which was listened to by more than 2 million people. So I'm being singled out again. It's been 8 years and they're still doing this. They still haven't learned. They made those of us in crypto a target for really no reason. That was a big fail. That cost them a lot of votes. Now we have the Bitcoin reserve. Now we have the White House putting its stamp of approval on Bitcoin. And these leftoids look like the weirdos they are because they didn't need to make Bitcoin its enemy. There were many people who are Democrats and liberals back in the early days of crypto when I was covering it in California and Colorado. Tons of people were on the left in crypto. And you slowly but surely alienated every single one of them by making cryptocurrency your weird piñata. Oh, why isn't the economy stronger? Let's beat up on the crypto bros for the millionth time. Hey, let's not. Now we know why the economy's not stronger. Because you leftoids have been exporting all the money to transgendering animal studies and transgendering children and circumcisions for adults in Africa. Why don't you just leave everybody's genitalia alone? Why is taxpayer money going to mutilating people's genitals? Why don't you just leave everybody alone? You lost the election. You lost big. It's time for some genuine reflection, genuine soul searching, if you have such a thing. But just policing our content and doubling down on the censorship that literally lost you the election. I can't say this enough. This is why you folks lost, is your weird protectors for credibly suspected pedophiles, your weird protectors for credibly suspected human traffickers, and you LARP, you pretend to care about the economy when you're sending $500 million wires overseas to torture animals. You folks belong in prison. This is only, week 6 of Trump? You got 4 years of this. I don't think you're going to get the White House back in 4 years. I don't think you're going to get it back in 8 years. I don't think you're going to get it back in 12 years because you haven't evolved. You're not a real party. You don't have grassroots support. You have gaslighters and you have AstroTurf, which you pay for. You've got sock puppets, which you pay for. You have censorship across the internet, which is maintained and paid for. Somebody's watching my videos and reporting them. 8 years later, still the same game, huh? I really don't think they'll ever get the White House back. You've got to completely retool your party, make it something other than stormtroopers for George Soros and sick John Podesta and fat Tony Podesta. Tony Podesta and John Podesta belong in prison. These are people who are preying on the public. Their emails need to be in a grand jury investigation, not just censoring our videos. We're so far beyond that, or talking down to me when I have perhaps 100,000 times more money than the people who are anti-crypto for all those years. If you just bought a little bit, instead of being such leftoid weirdos, you'd actually be in a good place today. What losers, what sore losers. And I'll tell you this, we're not going to tolerate 4 years of censorship and harassment. Some of you folks are going to prison, and I think relatively soon. I don't think Dan Bongino is necessarily the real deal, but I think Kash Patel is. I think the new FBI director is 100% committed to getting rid of some of this corruption. But it's just pathetic, right? They don't honor the election outcome. What are these people? Just pro-pedophile communists? Is that what your party has become? A bunch of pro-pedophile near-communists who just arbitrarily, again, hated on Bitcoin, when actually something that was an alternative to the big banks is what the left had wanted for years, and then it emerges and you're against it. Totally arbitrary, and now we know why, because your money was coming from USAID. Why reform the financial system when you had a total carve out? Free money forever for all your sick shit overseas. Free money forever for all the transgendering mice experiments that you can come up with, and all the graft and all the moderation money that just goes to censoring content like mine. The American people are fucking over it. Hey, fuck you, John Podesta. I can't say that enough. Fuck you, John Podesta. One of the creepiest people on planet Earth. There should be a court somewhere willing to do a grand jury on him and his sick brother. That'll be the day I'm validated and vindicated. Not until then. Our content's still under attack, which means our voices are under attack. It means we don't have our free speech. First Amendment, John Podesta, your emails were real. They were real. They were fucking disgusting. And I don't see why someone out there in law enforcement doesn't have you behind bars today.